Well, good morning. I'm Steve Thompson, and as they said on your way in, I'm president of Emery Thompson Machinery. This is a company that has been building ice cream machines for now 111 years. My grandfather was named Emery Thompson, and back 111 years ago, he was running an ice cream parlor in Lower Manhattan using a machine like this. This is called a rock, salt, and ice machine, and the way it works is we have a cylinder in here, and that's where we put the dairy products and the cookies and the chocolate chips, and then we surround the cylinder with ice and rock salt. We use rock salt up north. We throw it on the ground to melt ice. It reduces the temperature of ice, which melts and freezes at 32 degrees. Adding the rock salt makes it much, much colder. So that's why we use it here as a source of cold. And then you would put it all together and you would turn this crank, and 40 minutes later you'd have a quart of ice cream. Well, that's what my grandfather was using 111 years ago. Yes, question?
So you have to turn that for 40 minutes?
Yes, you have to turn this for 40 minutes. That's what we had when I was growing up. Nowadays they've added a little electric motor, but it still takes 40 minutes of hand cranking. So it was a lot of work to make ice cream. And that's why my grandfather went back to his house and said, I have to find a better way to do this. I'm turning this crank all day, every day, making ice cream. And so he went back to his house and he invented a more modern version of this machine, and that's what we build today. This is the exact same principle as this. It makes the exact same kind of ice cream, except instead of turning a crank, it has a motor. And instead of the rock, salt, and ice for cold, it uses an environmentally friendly propellant called R404A, which is in everybody's refrigerator or freezer at home. And the 404A surrounds the barrel and gets it cold. The motor acts as the crank, and it does it all in 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, instead of doing it in 45 or 50 minutes. So it's still making what we call old-fashioned homemade ice cream, but doing it at a much faster rate. So I'll move this out of the way, and we'll see about making some ice cream. Now, inside the machine is this piece, and this is called the dasher, and it's going to take the dairy product that's getting very cold in there, and it's going to turn and it's going to scrape the ice cream off the walls of the machine. So it's the same old-fashioned process that my grandfather was using, just doing it more efficiently and faster. And that's the whole piece that goes inside that's going to help us make the ice cream. Now, ice cream is made up of milk, cream, skim milk, and sugar. And we buy that blend, we call it a blend, and we buy it from a dairy, just like you can go to the supermarket and buy whole milk or skim milk. We have the dairy blend this together for us and deliver it. Came out of the cow yesterday, was put together at the dairy, and then delivered here refrigerated. So this is as fresh as you can possibly do. And we're going to make, I heard a request last night that you wanted a chocolate ice cream. Well, I figured let's do one better than that. I'll make Cookie Monster ice cream. So we're going to have a lot of good stuff in here. Let me first measure out my blend of milk and cream and sugar and skim milk. And that should do it right there. And then I'll pour that into the machine and try not to spill it. This is the hardest part of making ice cream, is just pouring the ingredients in. After that, it's all very easy. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn on the first switch. This is something called the infinite overrun control, and I can pick the type of product I want to make. I can make Italian gelato, I can make Italian ice, I can make frozen yogurt, I can make sherbet, frozen lemonade, and ice cream of different qualities. So I'm going to pick a super premium quality. I touch the button and hit start, and now this piece is inside spinning around, scraping the dairy product off the walls. But I haven't gotten it cold yet. We need the cold for it to make ice cream. So I turn this switch on. Now it's going to get cold. So now I'm going to add my ingredients. And first I'm going to throw in, oh, this is a lift top. I'm going to throw in a bag of Oreo cookies. Now I'm only going to throw in half the bag of cookies. I'm going to save the other half for later when the ice cream's ready. And with our machines, it's the only machine that the whole cookies can go right into the machine, just like that. Now that's going to grind the cookies up into small pieces. Yes, a question? Excuse me? How do I clean the machine? After I'm finished making ice cream for the day, I pour in hot water and turn it on and let it just spin around, and then I drain it out. I do that 3 times at the end of the day, and then it'll be clean. And then I take all the parts out and just leave them out on the table to air dry. So it's pretty simple. But I do plan my production, my making of the ice cream, so that I start with a, normally I wouldn't make this flavor first. I would make vanilla, and then I would make strawberry, and then Bordeaux cherry, and then black raspberry. Yes, a question? I'm sorry?
Are you the only one that's supposed to be cleaning, or there's other people cleaning?
No, I'm the one who cleans the machine. The operator usually has to clean their own mess. It's just like baking in a kitchen. After you mess up the kitchen, you have to clean it yourself. Okay. Well, I got a cookie stuck up there, so I just go like that, and in they go. Now I'm going to put, that's the Oreo cookies. Now I'm going to take the chocolate chip cookies. It's really hard for me not to eat these while I'm making it. They look good. Oh, they smell good too. So I'm going to drop them in. And don't try this with any other batch freezer because they'll void your warranty because the barrels are so thin, and they won't go into the machine in the first place because you can't get them into the machine. So now we've got Oreo cookies and we've got chocolate chip cookies. Let's put in a little dash of vanilla extract. That gives it some more flavor. Just about an ounce of vanilla. And now we have the chocolate chips. I'm not done yet. So I'm just going to pour the whole bag of chocolate chips in. I think it's going to be good. Now, one more thing. Yes, a question.
How much ice cream do you guys make a day?
Well, this machine, how much do we make a day? This machine is going to make, let me show you, just about 2 of these tubs every time I run the machine. So in 10 minutes, I can make 2 tubs. So that would be, in an hour, that would be 10, 20, 30. I could make 6 batches. That would be 12 tubs an hour. That's a lot of ice cream. Now I'm going to put in some Hershey syrup. Okay. Now that'll keep freezing, and that'll take another about 7 minutes to freeze, and I'll keep watching it to see how it's doing. So we've got all our ingredients in there, but I left some cookies behind. The machine is going to take whole Oreo cookies and grind them up into little specks. So it's adding the flavor to the ice cream. So if I close my eyes and I taste the ice cream, I say, yeah, that's Cookie Monster ice cream. But I open my eyes and I look at the tub and I see a nice brown colored ice cream, and little specks of cookies and chips and everything else, but I don't see any big pieces. So I want to get some big pieces in there. So I saved some of the cookies, and I'm going to break them up and add them into the ice cream as it's coming out. So I take each cookie and just snap it like that between my thumbs, and we'll use these to shake in. Yes, a question? What type of education do you need for this company? A strong desire to work. So many jobs in business. There was an expression once that the success to business is just showing up. And when my employees show up for work, we teach them how to do different parts of the jobs, how to do cutting the stainless steel, how to polish it, like our friend does, how to assemble, put the motors in. But the most important thing in business is to come to work every day. And the important point from my standpoint, the person hiring, is to make sure that you enjoy your job, that you're having a good time. We try to make it fun and make it enjoyable. Then you want to work there. Yes?
Is there any experience needed for this job?
Is there any experience needed? We have always taken people who had no experience, and we start them off at a job of assembling the machines. And then we ask them, after they've done that for a while, what would you like to do? And they say, well, I would like to learn the refrigeration, or I'd like to learn how to cut the steel, or I'd like to learn how to polish the steel. So then we pair them up with a person who's already doing that job, and we have him or her teach them how to do that particular job. And so we've had people come to us who didn't have, they were not welders, but when they left Emery Thompson, they knew how to weld steel. So then they could go get a job welding pipe or welding cabinets or any job that requires steel. So we teach people from the very start often. And we like to do it that way because then we're teaching you how we would like to have the job done. There's a lot of different ways to weld the stainless steel, but we have a particular way that we want it done, so we teach you the way we do it. And then we get a great machine, and hopefully you enjoy your job. That's the most important thing about work, is to enjoy what you do. If you like what you do, then it's not work, it's fun. So I'm going to check this. And that's almost ready. I'm opening it up and closing it, and if it cuts off nice and clean, it's just about ready. So this looks ready. I'm going to turn off the refrigeration so it doesn't get any colder. And now, as it comes out, I'm going to shake in some of the cookies. So I'll let it out slowly instead of as fast as it could go. And I'll put some pieces in. Oh gosh, we're in 172 countries, so that means we sell, excuse me? Where? Yeah, I think there's something like 184, 185 countries. We don't sell to some countries, but we're over in, we sell through the African countries, we sell through the Middle East, we sell over in the Far East, England, just every place you can imagine. We also have machines on board Navy ships. We're on the aircraft carriers, the United States aircraft carriers, because when you're out at sea for months at a time, you'd like to have ice cream, and the way they get ice cream is by making it themselves. So I didn't make as big a batch as I thought I was making. I could have put more mix in, but that means we'll have more cookies. Yes, a question. I'm sorry?
How many experience do you have in the work?
How long? Oh, I started when I was 16 years old. And when I was 16 years old, I started on the assembly line. And then they taught me refrigeration, how to bend the copper tubing. And then later I learned sheet metal and refrigeration, and then I was sent out as a salesman to go sell the machines. Yes, a question?
How much do you get paid for doing a job like this?
Well, the pay depends on the job. Some jobs are more technical than others. So a welder might make a higher rate than a person doing assembly. So it does vary. But it is a good paying job. Manufacturing is a wonderful business because at the end of the day you get to see what you built. When we go for a tour of the factory, you'll see all these different parts that we have made, and we put it all together and it turns into a machine. And it's all made here in the United States with American parts. Yes.
And then from there, that's how he bridged into making the machine because he was tired of cranking, or how did that come about?
When I was growing up, there was a expression that it's like many old expressions, you don't really know what they mean, we just use them. And the expression was, what is it, necessity is the mother of invention. He was working 18 hours a day in this ice cream parlor with these hand-cranked machines. And so he was getting very tired doing that. It was working very hard. So he had a necessity, he had a need to find an easier way to do his job. So that was the necessity. And when they say creates the mother of invention, that means in his mind he said, I have to invent an easier way to do this. So that's what he did. He invented a more modern machine to cut down on the number of hours that he had to do that. So that's what got the company started, and then he started building the machines in the Bronx, New York, near Yankee Stadium, and the business grew from there. And let me show you that. Jack, if you can zoom in, that is Cookie Monster.
Wow.
So would you like to come up and try some? Everyone come up, and I'll hand you out some Cookie Monster ice cream. And over there they do all the sheet metal. They make all the panels and all, and here we make all the intricate parts and then assemble the machine here.
And it's red chips, I'm assuming?
No, we're just during the day. And here's one too. Okay. I just need if you'll put it all in pints, and then I'll put it in the freezer here. Thank you. Make sure you try some. It's good.
Everything you like.
Yes.
How much ice cream do you guys make a day?
Well, we don't usually make ice cream. I'm just doing it as a special occasion that you came in. We build the machines, but we don't test them with ice cream. I do hold classes here, and people come in from all over the world and sit where you are, and I talk to them like I'm speaking with you and explain how to make different things. But we'll make about, when I do a class, we'll do about 5 or 6 different things a day. Let me see if I can show you some of the things that I've made recently. This is blueberry Italian ice. Yeah, and all I did was use sugar, water, and fresh frozen blueberries.
Whoa.
And it gets that nice color. There's no artificial color. That's from the blueberries themselves, that very pretty color. So the machine can do a lot of different things.
Over time, what are you looking for in employees?
I'd say we're looking for an employee who's willing to learn new things. We're always learning new things. I'll answer your question 1 second.
What has been your newest flavor so far?
What's the newest flavor so far?
Yeah, have you ever made any new flavor?
Oh yeah, salted caramel is very popular right now.
Wow.
It's a very big flavor. Some of them I've made are terrible.
You're supposed to eat ice cream without me.
Would you like some?
Yes.
Okay. If you go right into the kitchen there, Connie, Crystal will get you some. Here, let me give you a bowl and a spoon. I try to learn something new about the business I'm related to. I either read about things related to the business, or I listen to tapes or YouTubes. There's a lot of great information out on YouTube that I can watch and see. I don't read that well. I have one eye that I don't see out of at all. This eye doesn't work. So it's hard for me to read a book. So I listen to YouTubes. I just bought a training aid for Sammy to help teach her how to come to us and to sit and all. And so I looked it up on YouTube, and there were probably 15 different videos on how to do exactly what I wanted to learn. And when I went to school, the one thing I learned in school was if I didn't know the answer, I could go to the library and look it up. And we'd have to go down to the library and go through books to try to find out the information that you wanted to know. Nowadays, it's so much easier because you can get on a computer, on the internet, and you can find the answer to just about anything.
Google it, like that.
Yeah, just Google it. Let's say you wanted to know how to make salted caramel ice cream. You can Google how to make salted caramel, and you'll find about a dozen different recipes. Or how do you change a tire on a car? You can go to Google, and there'll be a video showing you how to change a tire. So it's much easier today than it was when I was your age, because we had to go to the library and try to find the right book on the subject, and sometimes it hadn't even been written. I don't think there is a book written about how to change a tire on a car, but you can find it in a Google YouTube video all the time. And of course, this is new for me. 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about YouTube at all, and now I couldn't do without it. Every day, I'm up there, learning something new. Or we were just looking to find out some information about some music. I said to a friend of mine, there's a radio program that I listen to, and the introduction music was from a group called Jefferson Starship, and I wonder who the main singer was, and I could not remember her name. So I Googled the question, and sure enough, it's Grace Slick. And so that's a big part of business. Is I think the expression I've heard is knowing what you don't know. In other words, we can't know everything, but we can ask the question and then go look it up and find out about it. And that's very exciting today. So if I go to one of my employees and say, how do we weld aluminum? Aluminum is more complicated. Well, if he doesn't know or she doesn't know, they can go to Google and see videos of how you weld aluminum. So now we have the ability to weld aluminum. And that's very helpful to me, the employer, that I can go to an employee and say, I don't know how to do this. Can you find out for me how we do it? And they can go look it up, and that makes employee that much more valuable to me, that they're willing to go learn something new and then teach me how to do it, because I can't know how to do absolutely everything in business.
So you have assemblers, you have welders, can you name off the other, there's office workers?
There's office workers, there's accountants, salespeople. We have,
And do salespeople then travel to
well,
mostly phone, or how does that,
now everything is by internet.
internet?
It used to be that you would send a salesperson out in their car and drive and say, go drive down to Sarasota and see this customer. Just before you came, I was talking to a customer in Sarasota. Well, now I can do it by Skype, or I can do it, in this case, I got an email last night, and he was a farmer, and he said, I want to learn how to make and sell ice cream. I have cows, and I milk them. How do I turn this into ice cream and make it into a business? So I emailed him back and gave him some information on it, and then we agreed to talk on the phone. So I was on the phone with him for about 20 minutes. So you can do so much more nowadays, either on the phone or especially by computer, because it also gives you some time. If I'm standing in front of you, you there and me here, and you ask me a question I don't know, rather than give a wrong answer, I can say on the computer, I'll be back to you in a few minutes with that question. And then I can go look up, if the man said, how much milk can I get out of each cow? I have 37 cows, and how much milk a day can I get? I can go on Google and say, how much milk does a cow produce on average a day? And then that will tell him, we can then continue talking about how much ice cream it can make. So you can go anywhere you want on the computer and with Google and asking questions. And if it doesn't come up with the answer, then sometimes you ask the question in a different way. Let me see if I can think of an example, because sometimes I ask the wrong question. The answer's out there, but I didn't ask it right. Maybe if I type in, what is the output of a cow per day? Well, what do I mean by output? I'm not being specific enough. So if I ask the question, how much milk does a cow make in a day? That is a question that the computer can then go research and find the answer. In fact, a lot of our selling is done over the internet. My competitor over in Italy has on their website a picture of a person eating an ice cream cone. Well, computers can't read pictures. They can't see the person eating the ice cream cone. So although it looks very nice, it doesn't tell them anything. My website doesn't have a picture eating an ice cream cone, but it repeats the word ice cream, Italian ices, gelato, sherbet, all the things the machine does. And so when the computer does a very quick scan looking for my answer, it sees, oh, well, this company over in Italy, there's nothing there. We don't see a picture. We don't read a picture of an ice cream cone. But over here at Emery Thompson, the key words we're looking for, ice cream, how to make it, what does it cost, are all there in words. And so the computer goes to my website. So now I've got the customer, and the guy in Italy doesn't, because I knew the right questions to put up there so that the computer could ask it. Would you like to see the factory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, if you'll follow me, we'll walk around.